Drop the bass.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. That was the bell, so you know it's time for the Average Kid Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Tuttle, and with me here today is, once again, the best, the number one contender for the best podcast
Podcast guest.
podcast guest of all time,
Oh, reliable. That's what you should call me.
Dylan O'Reliable Douthitt.
I'm like Jason Witten on the 5-yard line. Automatic.
I mean, I'm going to completely disagree because I had the man in fantasy, and I don't think he scored a touchdown all year.
Well, not in fantasy terms, he's not so good, but in real football terms, he's the best. One of the best.
I'm about to say the best is by far Tony Gonzalez, but he doesn't play anymore. But right now, you need 5 or 6 yards. He's getting you that 5 or 6 yards.
Oh, yeah. And he doesn't drop anything, so that helps.
Even though their quarterback situation is horrendous.
Yeah, Tony Romo was about to fall apart.
The bionic man.
He just recently said, though, he can make it until 2019, which I don't think he can at the rate he's going.
Apparently, he's wanting to be playing in a wheelchair.
Apparently.
He'd be the first football player to ever play it down in a wheelchair.
IV hooked up to a ventilator, just throwing balls.
All right. Well, we're just going to get off the sports real quick. Just a quick announcement, ladies and gentlemen. My good friend here, over this past weekend, without telling, one of his best friends, like a jackass, he goes and gets engaged. Like, what the hell, man? What happened?
See, the thing was, as I had the ring for 6 months already, so I was already, kind of on edge about it, and I was ready to do it. And only the people who saw me really knew about what was going down.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. Douthitt, how many fucking podcasts have we done? And you're telling me I haven't seen you?
Last week, how much did you see me?
That's not my fault.
Exactly.
That's not my fault.
Exactly.
You went back to Grayson County, and I don't go there.
I went back there I think it was last Wednesday, stayed the night, came back, worked 7 to 11.
And I tried to get you to come on that night, and you was like, no.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling it. I worked till 11. That's why.
Well, no, it wasn't that. I asked you that night, and then you told me you worked till 11, and then I think I asked you to come
Friday, and then I was in Nashville for Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I went and seen Joe Rogan, too, without your man.
That shit was funny. I was completely surprised. Okay, whenever me and you watch that stand-up by Joe Rogan, it's not that great.
I mean, it's from like 06.
Yeah, but it's still his product.
Yeah.
But him and Tony Hinchcliffe did an amazing job, and it was a good experience.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you who opened for him, cause if it would have been like Brian Redband or Joey Diaz, I've been highly upset that I didn't go.
Well, you should be upset you didn't go still, because Tony Hinchcliffe was fucking incredible.
I mean, I don't know, he's a little weird. Like, I try to listen to him on some podcasts, but he's just kind of weird to me.
Yeah, I mean,
he looks like a skeleton.
He's very metro too, and
yeah.
I mean, but his delivery and everything was perfect. He had some really funny jokes, and I actually thought, like, during the stand-up that he did a better job than Joe, but I think that was just because his was only 30 minutes long, and Joe's was literally almost 2 hours. And to do stand-up for 2 hours and, like, have the audience, like, still, like, in it, it's got to be a hard thing to do, because I know at one point I was, like, zoning out.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still good. It was just that it was so long that my attention span was just off in the distance.
That's surprising. I never heard of a comic doing 2 hours.
Well, it wasn't 2 hours, but it was damn, it was like an hour and 30.
I mean, they normally try for just an hour or hour 10.
Yeah. I thought he was gonna do like an hour special or something like that, but he went past it, and I was like, oh shit.
Where'd y'all see him at?
The Ryman in Nashville.
Oh.
It's like right in the middle of downtown.
Yeah.
It's a nice little theater. I mean, it's kind of small, but I mean, he doesn't mind doing those little shows, and there's like 2,000 or so people there. I think that's how much it seated.
2,000? You're saying that's little?
Man, it's pretty small compared to like other comedians.
I mean, but he talks on his podcast about doing shows for like 200 people.
Yeah, but still, like 2,000 is still not that many people.
I wish I could get 2,000 people in a room just to listen to me. I kind of thought about this, that Bowling Green doesn't have a comedy club, and I feel like that if you was to get a few good acts here, like in the bar areas, like downtown, I feel like they would actually do pretty well.
Yeah, it's just finding that talent and finding people who could actually stand up there and deliver jokes for 30 minutes.
I feel like I could talk about like some funny shit that's happened to me, like I have on here, but I think there's no way I could deliver it as to be
clean.
as clean and to be funny, especially for an hour.
Yeah. 30 minutes too, man.
Yeah.
30 minutes seems like a lot whenever you're standing up there, you're all by yourself, you got fucking nobody to help you chime in or whatever. It's just you, and you're staring at all these people, and they're looking back at you like, okay, what the fuck, where the fuck is this going? What are you about to say?
But I think at the same time, you have to have that to keep the people guessing, and also just because obviously when you're a comic, you have to think a different way. Like, I don't know from person, but I would say that you have to think completely different than anyone else to be funny, because you get people to think about it being like, oh yeah, that it kind of is like that. Just like I think one of the best comics in my opinion is Bill Burr, whenever he talks about like the checkout lines at Walmart and stuff.
Yeah.
How he, like, no one I've never
thought about that
thought
at all.
about being like, whenever people ask me, I need your phone number and stuff like that, and it's just like, what? Now I like think about it, like, why the fuck do you need my phone number? Like, I don't come here that often for you to have my phone number.
Yeah.
And the self checkout bit is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, they always gotta have. I guess that's why they do it. Honestly, just gotta show their like how their creative juices flow in like certain situations like that, and what they're thinking about whenever situations like that arise.
Yeah, I mean, and if you ever listen to like Bill Burr, Louis, or Joe Rogan, especially Joe, they're intelligent fucking people.
Yeah.
They know a lot of shit. Like Bill Burr fucking he can pilot a helicopter.
Yeah. Flies a lot.
Yeah. Can you? I can't. I don't know anyone else. I don't have anybody that can do that, or know that can do that. I know somebody that used to own airplanes and like fly those.
Well, you gotta think he's had lessons.
Yeah.
Probably thousands of dollars worth of lessons.
Mm-hmm. He said it only takes about like 6 months to like be able to fly one by yourself too.
Fuck that.
6 months.
Nope.
6 months.
I'm waiting at least a year till I fly by myself. Even then, I might think about it, but at least a year.
But I listened to him talk about it. He goes, dude, he's in that Boston accent. He's like, dude, it's so easy. You get up there and there's nobody up there. I mean, it's not very hard unless you're just a fucking idiot. So I mean, it's kind of just like that. You don't think of it like that. Most people, like you said, would think about it, be like, man, I'd be scared to death to go up there and fly a helicopter. But I mean, once you're up there, you're kind of by yourself. It's not driving on fucking 65.
Yeah, it's either
4 lanes.
Well, you gotta know like the airspace, right?
Yeah.
You gotta know what airspace you're driving through and stuff like that, so you don't crash into someone.
Yeah.
But I still think it's fucking high pressure, high stakes stuff because you could. I mean, they say it's a lot safer than driving a car or whatever, but I've had so much experience driving a car, whereas a helicopter, not so much.
Well, yeah. I mean, first of all, we don't have the kind of income to get a helicopter.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anyways, back to what we was talking about at the beginning. So just go ahead and continue on. How did this weekend go, my friend?
Well,
And you told me the story earlier. You don't have to tell that long ass version because we'll be here for God knows how long.
Yeah. Well, moral of the story is.
Put the mic up to your face.
Moral of the story is, nothing goes according to plan, and everything all day wasn't going according to plan.
You're right.
And I just, in the great words of Conor McGregor, I improvised, adapt, and I overcame.
Yes. I mean, I wasn't there.
I don't want to get into everything because I told you earlier, but just things weren't going right all day, and then I ended up working my way around it and figuring out solutions to everything, and then eventually got.
And also, thank God that your girlfriend, fiance now, obviously don't get any kind of hints whatsoever.
Yeah, she didn't get anything, which is great, which made me feel amazing. But, yeah, I forgot what I was gonna fucking say. Thanks for interrupting me, you piece of shit.
I mean, I was just trying to tell you because, like, you was saying that you're saying all this stuff is going wrong, and then, but at the same time, she didn't have a fucking clue.
Yeah, she never picked up on it, and I was just kind of like, are you playing stupid right now? Because usually she's, like, on top of shit, and she's like, I know where this is going. But, was it Sunday? Yeah, Sunday she had no fucking clue, and it made me feel amazing.
Well, you're one of the lucky ones, or actually, I mean, obviously most guys always think that they obviously are going to surprise their girlfriends whenever they propose. That didn't go to plan with me. Whenever I proposed to my wife, I, got the ring. It was on Christmas Eve. And of course we was at a family thing, and it was at her family's place, and we was all talking, and apparently she already fucking knew, and she was just waiting.
I would be pissed.
Yeah, and I know now not to ever fucking tell her best friend anything ever again, but at the same time, her best friend kind of saved my ass because what I didn't know until later that she was planning on breaking up with me. What the fuck? Like, she literally was just like, oh, he's gonna propose, so I guess he's an alright guy.
The one ring to rule them all.
Yeah, for real. Like,
no, but
how shitty can a person feel?
We got everybody together, and it was a good time. Ended up proposing. She said yes. She was completely oblivious, like you said, and the fact that her family was there and my family were there was all that mattered to us. And like I was telling her, like, I think one of the reasons I didn't do it for so long was because everybody's always got expectations for me.
Yeah.
Because of our relationship, I guess. And whenever I would do certain things, like for 1 year for Valentine's Day, I got her, for every day in the week, I got her a gift and a letter with the gift explaining why the gift meant something to our relationship. And it was like a Texas Roadhouse gift card, a Victoria's Secret gift card, a UK shirt, and there was plenty more. But alongside with that, it's just the way I treat her, and I guess everybody sees that and expects a lot out of me. So I was, expecting myself to do something huge,
Yeah.
but this is all we needed. I mean, it wasn't the biggest thing ever, but it meant something to both of us, and it it was I mean, it was perfect. It
Yeah.
wasn't honestly say that it didn't feel the way I thought it would feel,
Mhm.
but it was still overwhelming and still overjoyed.
Of course. Well, I mean, I think people get this notion the way that we see movies now, how they show when people get engaged or when somebody proposes to another person that it's this big magical moment, and yeah, it's really a big deal. Of course it is. I mean, you're making a commitment to someone for the rest of your life. Like that's the whole purpose.
Huge fucking commitment.
Yeah, I mean, you're literally signing a contract whenever you marry. Like it's a contract that you you are literally signing your life away. Like when people say that it's like being funny, like for a job being like, oh yeah, you work there, you're signing your life away or something. No, this is legitimately you are signing your life away unless you break that contract, and then guess what? You got to split everything fucking down the middle, and you got to if you especially if you have kids, you're really fucked.
Sometimes you split it down the middle.
Yeah,
Most of the times you end up getting fucked though.
yeah. But like I was saying, um, we have like this thing implanted in our brain from movies and shows and stuff saying like showing that you know proposing and blah 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 like I said earlier that it's this huge moment and everything just lines up perfect.
And there's fucking music playing and
Yeah, and
everybody's happy
it's nothing
and
like that. Like whenever I did it, it was yes, it was a great moment because I got to do it in front of her family. I wouldn't have asked for a better way because I got to stand in front of their family. I felt like I felt like a man doing it in front of her family. Not being worried about what anybody thought, whatever. But at the same time, it was just like, whew, I'm so glad that it's finally done now, and I can just like relax. Cause
yeah,
all day you're just sitting there thinking about the perfect moment.
yeah. And not only that, I'm fucking sitting here texting everybody, keeping them updated because the the time is like the times are changing because plans are changing and where we were at was changing and stuff like that. And it literally was making me sick. Like I had a piece of ice cream cake and a salad and some cheese fries that day, and I had to force that shit down.
Yeah.
And
Isn't
even after it was over, it was still like that.
isn't it weird that your body does that though? Like your body can sit there and literally tell your like sin. It doesn't matter if you haven't eaten all day. If something happens to where your mind or something has happened, you can just be like, I'm not hungry. Like your body just does it,
Yeah,
and you
it just
can't
shuts
like
down.
even though you're sitting there thinking like I literally haven't eaten anything all day,
Yeah,
you go, you're just like I'm not hungry.
yeah. I don't even know. I don't even know like why I was so nervous. I guess because like you were saying, me and my girlfriend, fiance now, we've been together for 5.5 years, and she had told me like last week she's been waiting to get married to me for 4 years, and I was just sitting back thinking like, man, that's a lot of that's a lot of fucking pressure.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! And then I got to the moment, and I was just like, my heart's beating out my chest, and I'm just thinking to myself, oh my gosh, it's here. Like
Yeah.
it's been 5.5 years culminated to this very moment right now, and
Well, and also I feel like that it put a lot of pressure on you because a bunch of your friends were getting married, or had getting married, like me and then like a couple other really good friends of yours, and then at the same time, what your fiance always brought up was like we've been together longer than anybody,
Yeah.
except for really honestly you, other than me and my wife, you all have been together the longest.
Yeah, and she just kept giving me that look every time, and I joked with her. I think the day before I proposed to her, I was like, she was like, I'm going to a wedding, and I was like, you get to go to another one and just be a spectator. How's that feel? And she just sent me that emoji. Was like really fucking annoyed, just kind of rolling her eyes. Like, she has no idea.
Yeah, I mean it's the moral. What we're trying to teach, mainly you guys, is that if you have a plan, it's probably not gonna go the way that you're thinking,
Yeah.
because that's just how it goes whenever it comes to women. Shit gets fucked up real quick. So, so you're ready for this next step, I assume. I mean, really, like, whenever people ask me, what's it like being married, I'm just like, it's not really any different. Like, they're like, oh, do you feel different being married? I'm like, no. It's just, I mean, I just have a ring on my finger now, really.
Mhm.
And uh, like I don't know if it's such. I mean, I think it's mainly just because. God, I'm sounding fucking retarded right now. Can't fucking hardly talk. I think it's just because mainly, for one, me and my wife have been together for almost 8 years now, and at that time I had already been living together for like 2 years, so pretty much other than without the signatures, I mean we was already practically married.
Yeah, me and Sierra lived together for a year, and then she had to move back home. So we already know what it's like to live with each other, and I mean, that was one of the greatest times in my life because I would just come home and get to spend time with her, and she would cook, and we would just, you know, we would like work as a team pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And her just being there made me feel better, like kind of boosted my morale, especially during school time because I'm one of those that has low confidence whenever I'm in school.
Mm-hmm.
Like going into a test or something, I don't have like faith in myself, and she just be there to pick me up and be like you're gonna do great, and kind of make me feel better, a lot better, and I really miss that, and I can't wait to get back to that because it's probably not gonna happen until then. Well, maybe after I graduate, but September 2018 is when we're thinking. We don't have a specific date, but September 2018. When we want to wait at least 2 years
Hmm.
so we can get everything in
Why
line.
2 years?
Well, it'll help us get everything in line, finances included. Um,
See, with me and my wife, we got married literally 6 months later. But that was like, for one, we did it. I proposed to her on Christmas Eve, and then like I said, her whole family was down, and then the next day, my wife, her mom, and her aunt were literally all in their kitchen, already setting up dates to get like setting up, planning the wedding. I'm just like, didn't I literally just propose to you last night? They were asking me all these questions about, what do you think? What do you think? And I'm like, to be honest with you, I really don't know because I literally just got there last night.
I didn't think of anything after that.
I didn't really think that this would be this soon.
But that was us, man. Like we didn't have a date set up after that. We weren't thinking ahead at all. But we've been talking to her dad, her mom, my aunt, and my uncle, and we're zeroing in, and we started naming off all the people that we were gonna come there, and it's God.
Yeah.
It's fucking a lot of people, and I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings by not inviting them
Yeah.
and them not being able to come, because I know how it feels like to not get invited to someone's wedding,
Mhm.
and you were kind of expecting an invite, but you didn't get one.
Yeah, I feel you.
But I mean, I guess that's why we're taking 2 years, so we can make sure we get every little detail knocked out.
Well, see, it sucked with mine because we got married in Florida, and I mean, it was a long drive, and it's hard for people to make that drive, and I understood that. Um, so that sucked for us, but at the same time, it was the perfect situation, the perfect wedding. Like I couldn't have pictured a better one. Like I'm not trying to sound like a chick here, but it was like throughout the whole week we were there in Florida for the week, and throughout the whole week we literally got married on the perfect day. Like it was sunny all day. It wasn't hot, it wasn't cold, anything like that. It was literally perfect. And so us having it in Florida did put like a big wrinkle in like people coming. Like you look over at her side of the family, the way they have the chair set up, like one part of the family is supposed to, or the bride's family is supposed to sit on one side, the groom's family is supposed to sit on the other side. You look over at mine, and other than the people that like were my groomsmen, the only other person that was sitting there was my grandmother. Like, and I'm not trying to like I don't want to make it sound like I was pissed or anything, because I understood it. Like people obviously said like I'm not gonna be able to make this trip like this, because
Mhm.
like I said, it was literally 6 months after we got engaged.
Mhm.
But at the same time, my mom wasn't there, and none of my cousins from my mom's side were there. The only people that I had there from my actual family was my brother, my dad, and my grandmother, like I said. But other than that, I had one other guy, one other really good friend, George. I've had him on here before. He made the trip because he was in it. But if he would have told me he's like I wouldn't have been able to make it, then I would have just found someone else. But so that was kind of a big thing. But I understand where you're coming from, like how you don't want to upset anybody. Like we still sent people invitations, but we also knew that
You weren't gonna get much feedback because you were going.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we also had a like try to have a wedding shower, like in the place where we grew up in Grayson County, because we knew people would be able to come to that. More people would come to that other than be able to come to Florida.
See, I don't know where. I'm assuming that's gonna happen in Grayson County, the wedding shower or whatever. I don't know. We haven't thought that far ahead.
Dude, the wedding shower is fucking awesome. You get all this shit that
For free.
yeah, you don't want to fucking pay for whenever you are married. Like you can look at it and you're just like, oh man, like you stress like yourself out about it a lot, and you're like, man, fuck, we gotta get this, we gotta get that. No, you don't. You just all you do is put it on your fucking registry, and you just tell people. Like people are gonna ask you like, hey, what do you really need? And you just tell them, be like, oh, I need this $500 thing.
See, that's what I'm gonna have to. That's what Sierra's gonna have to do, because I don't know what we need. She knows all that house appliance stuff and whatever. I mean, maybe a tool set, that would be cool, even though
Yeah.
I'm not a man and I can't use tools. But
I mean, they're good to
maybe
have.
something like that.
They're good to have around. I mean, I asked for a George Foreman, and then also a Keurig. Yeah, I asked for a fucking Keurig. Fuck with me, 'cause it makes delicious coffee and hot chocolate whenever I fucking want it. Right at like within 2 minutes.
I don't know what I'm gonna ask for. I guess like I said, I'll probably have Sierra on that.
It kind of sucks though. Like I might give you my George Foreman because I don't use it because I got a badass grill. So I might re-gift.
The yeah, I mean, I can't wait, but at the same time, I don't want um I don't want to have to depend on everybody to like help pitch in for the wedding. I want to be able to do our own thing and get the rings, get the tuxes. We're gonna rent tuxes, and we're gonna we're gonna also. She wants to freaking buy the bridesmaids dresses, and that's just, oh my god. It's like just thinking about all that is driving me insane. So I
Well,
just
see,
put that in the
you
back
should
seat.
have those, but people that are in in y'all's wedding, they should want to help you all. Like they shouldn't make you like want you all to have that much burden on you all.
Yeah, but we feel that it's rude to ask people to pay for their own stuff. So when it's our wedding, and I get that.
But I mean, if they really if they really care about you all, they shouldn't care how much it is. Like I understand if you all were asking them to pay $1,000 for a dress, yeah, that's a little ridiculous. But at the same time, if like for my wedding, I told them like my groomsmen setup was like really plain. Like all they had to have was black pants, a white shirt, and a tie. We got the ties for them because it was just easy like that. But we told them, they were like, I told them, I was like, y'all need to get this kind of pants and this kind of shirt. And they weren't cheap. They were like probably $50 each, so $100. But looking back at it, I don't feel bad because those 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 people were, I'm specifically talking about George. George was, a good enough friend to realize, he he cares, he thinks about me this much to put me in his wedding. I think I can shell out $100 for to look like everyone else in this wedding.
Yeah, I get that, but
I get where you're coming from, like how you think it's rude. I don't know. It's just weird. I just don't think it's rude. They should be honored to be in your wedding because you asked them to be in your wedding, and they should be like, all right, I'll do whatever you need me to do. Especially when it comes to like the wedding day, like I don't. You're not gonna want somebody there that doesn't want to help do anything after you done, pretty much honor them over everybody else, saying over other people that you may have had in mind, and they just want to sit there and bullshit around and not do anything.
yeah, I'm trying not to give the wedding too much thought. I know it's bad. Sounds bad to say, but I still got.
I mean, you got 2 years.
I still got.
You
Well,
got
yeah.
you got other shit to worry about.
I got school coming up in the fall, and I got a class coming up in like a few days that I need to pass, and then get my bachelor's degree, and then get a big boy job, hopefully.
Yeah, get out into the real life. All right, well, so people just wanted to let you know that my boy got engaged this weekend. So tell him congrats in the comments, or you can find him on Facebook and Twitter. Just send him a congrats. But we're gonna switch gears a little bit here. We talked about earlier, shit. What was I thinking? No, we was talking earlier, off air about a couple of things, and I just wanted to. We were talking, and me and you went and lifted before this, and it's kind of weird to think that now how big of an influence we kind of put on lifting, because we kind of feel like we both say like we feel like shit whenever we don't lift one day, and then also but back in the day whenever we were on the same football team together, like we didn't put any emphasis on lifting at all.
I think it was because I wasn't doing it at the pace that I wanted to. Not that I wasn't pushing myself. Not that I wasn't pushing myself tonight. I fucking was. But
fucking battle ropes.
But a lot of people are gonna get mad at me for this, but I'm not. I don't care. I'm just gonna say it. The way that they work out and in the weight room at Grayson County is not bettering them in the slightest. The way they do it is not the way you should.
No, I completely agree. I don't understand why you would sit there and think that everybody should be doing the same circuit of workouts, and especially at the speed that they do it.
Yeah, and they're not even worried about technique or anything like
No.
that. So you're not actually putting, like, whenever you go to do bench with a barbell, whenever they blow the whistle, they have like so many seconds to get the set done, rack it, and then get behind and get ready to spot the next guy. So whenever they're going to do the reps, they're not even worried about form. They're not worried about, are my elbows 90 degrees? Am I getting close to touching my chest?
Yeah.
Am I doing correct breathing technique? Am I fully extended and getting my full range of motion? Am I doing any? They're not worrying about any of that. They're just worrying about getting it done
Yeah.
and getting the next guy in. So that's one of the ways people get injured, and that's one of the ways people detrain and don't progress at all,
Yeah.
and they end up regressing and being worse off than they
Well, I mean,
were.
also you look at it and it makes you not enjoy it. Like now, since I started lifting, a couple of years ago, I enjoy doing it because for one, like you said, I go at my own pace, and I get whenever you only have a limited amount of time with the football team and stuff like that, that you have to get it done kindly quick to get a good practice in. But I mean, at the same time, I don't feel like I feel like weightlifting is should be done, you know, should be second to practice. I don't know if that's like wrong for me to think, but I feel
Depends
like,
on the season.
yeah, I mean, off season, obviously you should be working in the gym every single day.
Yeah.
But when it's during the season, you should be focusing on the team that you're about to play, and um, and not destroying your body. And
Yeah.
that's what was happening. That's probably still what is happening, unless there's changed. I don't know. I haven't been back there in a while, but it's literally destroying the body that they are trying to put out there on Friday nights to beat another team. And you can't beat another team whenever you know you're not 100%.
Yeah. I don't remember. We either did upper body or lower body. We cycled through. We'd do upper body, lower body, upper body, lower body, and then upper body again. Except I think it was the other way around. We did legs 3 days a week instead of arms or upper body. And I just think that having the whole group come in there and they're all doing, they have the workouts on the board or whatever, and they all have to go at the same time. I realized that you're trying to do with what you have, but go in there, let them do it right. Just just turn them loose and just be like, okay, well, if the bench is taken, you can do these, you can do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
If that's taken, we'll go to the bench and do those. If the dip rack is taken, I mean, they have dip racks on every
Yeah.
fucking thing there. So, I mean, I don't. I just looking back on it, I just realized how much hurting we did more than
Good.
than good to our bodies because we were just lifting out of control and it wasn't really.
Well, the fact that we was doing it every single day, like we would go in there and kill ourselves every day before practice or
Yeah.
after practice.
Yeah.
You don't get better like that. Like you don't hear about these college teams or pro teams sitting there. Um, you don't hear about them be like, oh yeah, they had a great workout. They had a great you know lifting workout today. No, you hear them about doing going through OTAs and training camp out on the field doing
Mhm.
drills.
Mhm.
That's how you get better. Yeah, lifting helps, but that's for off-season stuff. I don't feel like that. And I mean, people are gonna sit here and think that we're ranting on about like what we did, but I feel like that it's kind of that it's a important thing because in the society we live in now, you look around and everybody wants to be fit.
Mhm.
If they don't come up doing it right, then they're not gonna want to do it when they get it when they get older. Because that was my problem whenever I first got to college. Was like, man, I did this for 4 straight years. I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Just because I had a thought in my head that lifting meant soreness and just it was dreadful
Yeah.
every time. Regardless, because like I said, did it for 4 straight years in high school. I didn't
Mhm.
want to fucking do it anymore.
Well,
But
see, like I was talking about earlier, is like I can go in there and I can do my own shit. I could be at my own pace, and I could literally I could do workouts and not have to worry about, someone being on my ass, which is good sometimes, and sometimes people need that. And I'm not saying that I didn't need it at that time because I probably did,
mhm.
but sometimes it didn't help, sometimes it did. Um, but going to Preston whether it was before class or after class or whatever, I looked forward to going in there because I knew I could do it at my own pace, and I knew that if I wanted to just stop, I could stop. If um, you know something came up and I could work out with somebody, cool. If not, I'll do it by myself. I didn't know how to quite work out the correct way yet
Yeah.
because I was still going off of upper body, lower body in high school, but which can be good, but I feel like it's better to focus on a certain area and strengthen a certain muscle on that day and then go back the next day.
Well, yeah, I mean, and also the thing was whenever we was coming up, we didn't have all these supplements that, like protein powders. We wasn't taught about that,
Yeah.
and that's a really big part because it helps you recover your muscles and stuff like that faster, and it helps heal your body.
Yeah.
And we knew nothing about it. Like the only thing that I knew about was from one of my friends told me about creatine because he was taking it,
Yeah.
and I started to take it and it tasted fucking terrible to my like I thought, so I stopped taking it.
Mhm.
So I don't know, but staying on the topic of like lifting and losing weight, do you hear about the Biggest Loser thing? The TV show called The Biggest Loser, I think it's what it's called. Apparently, those assholes were cheating. I don't want to say all of them because I don't really know the whole story, so don't quote me on this, ladies and gentlemen. But apparently, some contestants on the Biggest Loser, whatever the hell it's
Mhm.
called, they were told by producers or whatever trainers I guess they were working with to take dietary supplements, like for them to take them or be suggested to take them instead of doing it by themselves like they kind of showed to the public that's what they were doing.
I don't have a problem with like supplements like fish oil and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what I do have a problem with is if they were taking like ACE or hydroxycut or anything like that,
Yeah, I mean, I would say they were probably taking hydroxycut because that's one of the biggest ones.
because that shit is just it'll just shut down, your kidneys and make them fail.
Yeah.
I don't I don't understand. I guess they weren't that confident in their workout plans, so they just had to make sure they lost the weight still.
Yeah.
So they were still making them take
Well,
it out.
I think that I mean, I feel like at some point, they would shit, fuck, throwing shit out everywhere. But I feel like that at some point, um, possibly at the beginning, they were thinking, uh, you know, good results would show at the beginning of the show, like, all right, this person lost 25 pounds this week. Okay, well, if you continuously go throughout the show, they might not be losing that many pounds if you think about it, because it's harder once you start slimming down to
Mhm.
lose more weight
Mhm.
than whenever you started. So I feel like that's what was the main thing about it, was that they wanted to continue to show that, hey, these people are still losing this amount of weight, whether it be 25 or closer to like 15 or 20, than just only losing like 3 pounds. Because I don't feel like people are gonna really care about it if like they put up there like, oh yeah, this person only lost 3 pounds.
Do you think people really give a shit about that show, and like it actually like inspires some people to go work out
I
and
think it does.
lose weight?
I think it really does, because I think it makes people look at themselves, differently, and people can relate to those people that go on there and they think to themselves, these people have the guts to get up here in front of the whole world, essentially, being on TV and stuff. That, if they have the guts to do that, then look at me. I can't, I have to get myself up and go do something, or I'm gonna be miserable and possibly shorten my lifespan by living like this.
Mhm.
I think the show was a really good idea, but now you're sitting there, but now this has come out, and you're sitting there showing that even with that kind of media, that's what it really all boils down to, is that it's just media.
A media stunt.
Yeah, it's just behind this, like, they show you what they want to show you, and whatever's behind the curtains, you know that's what really goes on.
It really sucks because the people that gave hope to, it just shows that even with like a personal trainer whose sessions are worth thousands and thousands of dollars,
Yeah.
still needs some help to a degree with. I mean, dietary supplements aren't bad, but if you're taking like diet pills, like like I was saying earlier, like hydroxycut and stuff like that, I mean, that stuff isn't good for you. And things like fish oil and um, some of the supplements that Alpha Brain sells are pretty legit, and they'll
Yeah.
actually help you, and they're actually really good for you.
Well, I mean, stuff like Alpha Brain, I feel like, is made from natural substances.
Yeah, all their stuff's pretty I'm pretty sure it's all natural.
Yeah, and I mean, I take protein powder, and like I also take fish. I started taking fish oil now because just help my joints and shit. But um, with the protein powder, yeah, there's a lot of chemicals probably in there, but at the same time, I feel like there's a lot of. I mean, it works, and I
Mhm.
haven't had anything wrong with it. But I'm trying to get to, what I'm trying to get to is that what you said about the alpha brain and stuff. That's pretty much natural things, like things that you grow and get from the earth. Like, I feel like hydroxycut is nothing but chemicals
Yeah.
that, and obviously that it can't be good for you.
Yeah.
I mean, the people that probably make the shit are probably in there with like lab coats and like mask over their face. If you sit there and think, if they are sitting there and they have to protect themselves while they're making it, what makes you think that it's good for you to take after they're done with it?
I think it's been recalled like a few times, and some people have actually died while taking it.
Well, I mean, that also shows right there. If they have to recall it, then obviously they're trying to fix what's wrong with it, and they're not doing a very fucking good job at it.
Yeah. Clearly.
I just think that with this coming out, it's like you said, it just sucks because people that looked up, like followed that show, are just like, man, if that's really how they did it, what hope do I have?
Mhm.
I don't know. It sucks.
Yeah, it sucks for those people that needed that extra push to get to the gym and actually do something. But I mean, they, I think to in order to better yourself, you have to you have to have that want to. If you don't want to, then no one else is gonna want to for you. So you need to just want it for yourself, and not just because, oh, look, this person did it, and look look at their results and look how well they done. No, you need to say, I want my results, and I want to do it this way. It may not, like I said, it may not be the way that you want it to be, and it might be hard as shit. It might cause you to push yourself and find out what type of person you are, but in the end, it's going to help you, and it's going to make you a better person.
Yeah, I mean, you sit there, you have to realize that you can listen to all these people, whether it be the Biggest Loser or, family members or friends telling you you need to do this, you need to do this. But in the end, you have to get out of your fucking house and out of your piss poor life, and you have to make a change for the better of yourself.
Yeah.
You have to do it. Nobody can force you to do it, because if somebody forces you to do it, you're gonna either resent them or resent yourself because you're not gonna be able to do it.
Yeah. A few years ago, I was going to UK, and I didn't have a job, and I was going to school. I was just going to school full time.
You lucky bastard.
Yeah. And whenever I would get home from school, I'm like, man, I'm tired from class. I'm gonna take a nap. I would take a nap every day. And finally I got so sick of just doing that every day, because I noticed how much weight I'd gained.
Yeah.
And I was tired of looking the way I looked. I was like, for the first time, I was when I think that was whenever I started to get 190, and I started working out, and I just kept going. Ended up getting back down to 185, and then quitting again. And then I got back to Bowling Green, and then I started working out heavy, and actually going every day at like 8 o'clock in the morning after class, or 9 o'clock after class every day. And I was taking my protein, and I would literally go every day, and I had a job, and I felt so great whenever I was doing that compared to just sitting on my ass after class.
Well, yeah. It's been shown that you're more active, and you feel better after you do these things. It's been proven.
Mhm.
Like, I don't. I just. That was, I mean that same thing similar happened to me. Like, the reason why I got back into it was because I was tired of looking at myself and looking in the mirror coming from high school, whenever I had a six pack and stuff like that, being active as shit, playing football, and just being an active kid, to go into college and not doing anything, because one reason was because I didn't have to.
Mhm.
Like, being on the football team, we had to do things to get to play. Well, I didn't have anything to motivate me, and I think that was the biggest problem with me, was like I had to become my self motivator. And now I'm just in the mindset, it's like, man, if I don't go lift, I feel like a piece of shit.
Mhm. Now, and there's still things about my lifestyle that I'm not happy with. Like,
I mean, yeah, we just got done eating pizza after lifting for like an hour.
Yeah, and I'm probably gonna go home and eat some Oreos and milk before I go to bed. But that's beside the point.
We're human beings.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've never got under control, is my diet, and it's not because I'm not gonna make an excuse, because I could do it, but I choose not to do it. And I've tried to do it time and time again, and it's just not worked out for me. And every time I regress back into this shitty lifestyle of eating. Um, I think as far as like strength goes, I'm pretty. I'm like, as far as muscular strength goes, I'm pretty good at that. But everything else, as far as
Yeah, you need to work on your cardio.
my physical capabilities, cardio is out the window. Endurance, I mean,
Your cardio is trash. I'm not gonna lie.
muscular endurance is not there. It's just I've just been lifting for about 2 years now.
Yeah.
And I haven't really worked on that aspect at all, and I haven't given it much attention. I think I can't even remember. I think I ran a mile about 2 or 3 months ago, and it killed me. I didn't know if I was gonna make it.
See, the thing with me is like also my diet is shit, but I absolutely fucking hate running. Like regardless of whether it be on a treadmill or outside or whatever, I fucking absolutely hate it. And it's just that's something I cannot get motivated to do. Like to sit there and get on a freaking treadmill and just run for
Same place.
yeah, for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do it outside because it's fucking hot outside, and I'm a fucking bitch like that. I don't care. I fucking work in a warehouse all damn day. I don't want to come home and fucking go run outside in the fucking heat. But I have like like I said, I mean, we had pretty much almost a whole pizza after we got done working out and stuff like that. But I have cleaned up my eating habits a lot because I know one reason that I have, because now I'm starting to get, compliments about how slimmer I look. I may not, I still kind of have like a little bitty gut, but they say my neck and my face has slimmed down, and whenever you hear those things, I don't know. For me, it makes me want to just continue to do it and push more to look better than that. And I mean, right now I'm trying to get my beach body ready for whenever I go to Florida in end of July. So I mean, that's just motivation that people have to. I feel like people have to figure out that what their motivation is, regardless if it would be to get a beach body, or do it for the person that you like, or trying to impress somebody. Whatever it is, you just need to figure it out and do it. Like, you don't need to sit there and put it off every single day. Be like, oh, I'll do it this next day, because I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not gonna like how you feel, because you're gonna get used to it, and you're gonna be like, this is just so much easier than getting up and going and making yourself lift these fucking heavy weights, or
Mm-hmm.
running this mile, or whatever the case may be. It's not easy. That's why a lot of people don't do it.
Yeah, like tomorrow, I plan on waking up ass crack of dawn and going lifting before I go into work at 10 o'clock. Do I want to do it? Fuck no, but I need to.
Yeah.
Like, I need to start going that early, and I need to get in the groove before I go to the beach, because if I go to the beach and look like a jackass, I'm gonna be pissed at myself, because
Yeah.
I let myself get that way. Now, I'm not like fat by any means or anything like that, but I would like to look better.
Yeah.
And more lean.
I don't think everybody would. But I mean, we're not trying to give anybody some kind of lecture here, but we're just saying that you will feel better about yourself, and you will enjoy looking better. You're just gonna want to do better for yourself. And I feel like that once you start doing working out, your lifestyle changes. Like, it puts me in a better mood,
Yeah.
and it makes me want to be, just be more, what's the word? I'm not quick to the draw about things. Like, I don't assume things like I used to. Like normally I would, something happened and I would just assume things or get mad real easily. But now with lifting, it's kind of like, all right, man. It's no big deal. Let's just mellow out real quick and figure this out. So I think that's another plus for it. So take it from us at the Average Kid Podcast. Just get out and do something. It doesn't have to be lifting heavy weights. Just go there and don't worry about what other people are doing. Like stay in your lane. Don't worry about it. Just put your earphones in and just do it because those people had to like whenever I think the big problem with people is that they sit there and they look at all these people lifting these heavy weights and looking so much better than what they are. But you got to think those people at started at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not any different from you. Most likely those people will honestly help you, try to get to where you are because they did start where you were from, where you are starting from.
Yeah.
People at the gym aren't assholes. I mean, yeah, you'll get occasionally people there that just want to get in there and get out and get done. But other than that, I haven't ran across very many dickheads of like, just musclehead people. Like
Yeah.
that's just a stereotype that gets thrown there. That's not true at all.
Yeah, the one thing I would like kind of like give caution to people going to the gym would be those people who try to correct everybody on their form and stuff. But if you're new to working out and you need that, that'll help you. But if you're old and stuck in your ways and you don't like to hear shit like that, it's gonna piss you off, and you're not gonna really like to hear those things.
Yeah, I agree.
And
But I mean, I feel like there's a lot of other ways to find out whether or not you need to do like you're doing whatever right instead of having to listen to somebody. You can take it upon yourself just looking on YouTube or on various websites, whatever the case may be. If you want to know for sure what's the correct way.
yeah, and the last thing I have to say about it is working out improves so many aspects of your life, like we talked about. One of like or yeah like 2 or 3 health benefits is like it enhances your brain function
Mhm.
and it enhances like your blood delivery.
Yeah.
And it also enhances like your I forgot the last one. Fuck. But just
It helps you become a ninja.
yeah, my brain's fried right now 'cause I'm tired. But just getting in. I remember just getting in the gym got after I got out of class made me feel like I retained the knowledge better.
Mhm.
And
Well, it puts your brain receptors on. It just makes them more healthier.
mhm.
Like it helps you keep, like you said, keep knowledge in. Helps you remember things, and it helps you relate things to better suits the better way you learn. And that's been proven. Like
Mhm.
it gets oxygen to your brain. It helps you know pretty much build your brain. Like some people say that your brain is like a muscle, and that you train that muscle that's in your head.
Mhm.
It's the same thing as just going to the gym and getting on a treadmill and even walking, whatever it may be. It's going to benefit you in more ways than just one.
Yeah.
And for that, ladies and gentlemen, that is what I like to just say to you all. And I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm like a stickler or act like that. I go to the gym every single day. Yeah, there's days whenever I get off at my 9 to 5 job, and I just don't feel like going.
Mhm.
And you're gonna have those days, and you are the only one that can really honestly choose um, whether or not you are gonna go. Or off days are good. Off, like people put these stigmas on off days, thinking that they are bad. They're not bad. You need an off day every now and then. You don't need to be going every single day, destroying your body like we were talking about. If you need an off day or think you need an off day, take the off day. Just and go back the next day 100%.
Yeah, that's probably one of the main things I always tell people is just don't, don't like take it, I don't want to say don't take it easy on yourself, but
Just don't overdo it.
just don't overdo it, and make sure you're listening to your body, because your body will tell you how you feel. If
Mhm.
it's sore, it's sore. If you're hurting and you're in pain, those are two different feelings.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to differentiate those feelings whenever you're either hurt or sore. So,
Yeah, so I think we're gonna write a book after we get off here. So be looking for that on Amazon and whatever. Now, we had a bunch of other things to talk about, but we kind of stayed on that for a minute.
yeah.
So I think we're just gonna go ahead and move on to the random questions for the guest.
You don't want to do the facts for today.
I mean, we can do either or. We'll do the facts for it, or what? We'll go. Okay, sorry.
I mean, it's your
ladies and-
podcast. Whatever. you
I
do.
mean, no, it's all right. Just interrupt me. Trying
I
to.
just wanted to save it.
Okay. Okay. Well. Okay. We're gonna go into what has happened in on today's date in history, and starting with the first one. I looked it up, and Jesse Owens had on this date set 6 world records in less than an hour. And if you don't know who Jesse Owens is, he's like a really, really good track and field athlete.
Did you look up what he set the records in?
No, I didn't say.
Was it for track and field, or was it just?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it was like he probably beat, multiple times or something, because he was a racer. A racer. What the fuck am I talking? He was like a runner. He run fast like Forrest Gump. I don't know. I don't know exactly what he did.
I don't know.
We ain't got time for it. But I mean, just amazing that he broke 6 world records. Not just like a record held at like a school or anything. He did it. He set 6 world records. That's ranging the whole globe,
Yeah.
people.
That's really impressive.
In less than an hour.
In less than that. Holy shit.
So obviously he like broke them like a lot at the same time.
Back to back to back or something
Yeah.
like that.
The man's a machine.
Yeah.
Well, moving on to the second one today. This was going around. I saw on Twitter a lot. ESPN was putting out there that they marked the anniversary for when Muhammad Ali knocked out Sonny Liston and stood over his ass and told him to get up because he wanted to whoop that ass some more.
Did you see where Joe Rogan thinks that was like he got paid to lose that fight?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
No, I don't. I mean, I don't think so, because I'm pretty sure that through. I don't know a whole lot about it because it's hard to find like.
Good footage.
Yeah, good footage of it because it was so far back in the day.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure Ali and Liston were going back and forth at each other a lot during, trying to promote the fight.
Yeah.
And I don't think that you would do that. I'm pretty sure it might have been. I think it's so significant because maybe Liston had. I don't know if Liston had the title at the time, and that's when title. Yeah. So I mean, why would you sit there and be a world champion and just
lose on purpose?
Yeah, lose on purpose.
Money.
I mean, it could have. I mean, I'm not saying it couldn't have happened, but I mean, it's kind of a stretch.
There's a crazy. Well, crazy start to one of the best careers in boxing for Muhammad Ali. I think that's whenever he was still Cassius Clay, wasn't he?
No, he's Muhammad Ali.
Oh, he's Muhammad Ali then?
Yeah.
Well,
He went to Muhammad Ali like kind of early in his career because you can't find a lot like whenever you see him as Cassius Clay, he was younger.
yeah.
He was a whole lot younger. I don't know.
But that was really what started it all.
Yep.
It's a knockout of St. Eston, and then the rest is history.
Best boxer in my opinion.
Yeah. Fuck you, Floyd. He'll never be in my top 5 conversation ever.
Well, for one, he's a piece of shit off out of the ring. That's number one. And two, it's hard to, look back and see all these heavyweights be as fast as like Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson. And I mean, you can even say like George Foreman and Evander Holyfield. They were just men out there.
Yeah.
And then you look at Floyd Mayweather. The dude's like 5'6" or whatever.
Manny
tiny.
Pacquiao.
He's tiny, and it's just not the same as it was back then. Like whenever you seen the heavyweights fight, you were seeing two big ass dudes beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah. And I mean, it was still like a science. They call it the sweet science, and it was great to watch. But now it's just like dying down because the heavyweights just aren't what they used to be. I mean, Klitschko held the title for 10 years, and then, I mean, he barely won the fight he had before he lost the title. And then the fight he had with Tyson Fury, I heard he lost, but it was one of the most boring fights in boxing history.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
boxing...
I've even like the past fight between Khan and Canelo, that was supposed to be like a pretty big fight, and it had shit numbers.
Didn't even do over 1 million buys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
I mean,
and it's boxing.
I mean, it just shows. And another thing, like I found this interesting. I think I heard it on Joe Rogan's podcast that he was talking. If you look at Floyd Mayweather compared to like bigger boxers or especially MMA guys, Floyd, like I said, he's a small dude. Like he's not big, and they wear these big ass gloves. So if he puts those gloves in front of his body and in front of his face, he's covering up a good portion of his body by just putting the gloves in front of him. So I mean, he's great technically with defense and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, he's one of the best. But at the same time, it's not very hard to defend whenever you're defending such a small frame.
Yeah. But he is one of the best defensive boxers of all time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he's one of the best boxers of all time because I don't think so. But that's a different topic for a different day.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, so that's your little daily wrap up for May 25th in the history books. So just moving on real quickly, it's like fucking midnight right now while we're doing this, so we're trying to hurry it up. Sorry, we get carried away with eating pizza and shit like that. So moving on to the 2 random questions that I have here from my good friend. Real quick. Question number 1. Would you stay with your girl if she came up to you and told you that she committed a murder?
If she came up to me and told me she committed a murder, that's all. That's the whole situation. There's no like, okay, so she did this because she killed the person because...
Okay, scenario. She killed somebody because... I'm trying to give you like a controversial one.
If she killed someone just because...
Okay, let's say that she...
Then we're gonna have problems.
Okay, so let's just say that she tells you that, yeah, I hit somebody with my car and I killed them. It was an accident, but I don't know what to do.
She just drove away.
Yeah.
God damn. Yeah. I hate to be a snitch, but I'm not gonna be an accomplice to a murder, so probably have her go down to the police station and testify. I mean, I'm I'm not gonna, risk.
What if she then runs over you?
Well, I mean,
It's
I guess
never meant to be.
I guess I'll be dead and no one will ever know.
All right. So moving on to question number 2. What's the very first thing you are buying if you won the lottery? Very first thing. They give you the check for $300 million. What are you going to go buy?
My mom and dad a house. Not together, but my dad a house, my mom a house.
You know what I would buy?
What?
Dinner. I would go buy something to eat.
Fuck that. You just won the lottery, ball out, go buy a
Yeah,
house.
no, like we was talking about earlier, I wouldn't even be hungry. I'd be like, fuck.
I would just be like, okay, Dad, I'm gonna pay for your house. Okay, Mom, I'm gonna pay for your house.
I don't think I would pay, like, I think I would hand them a check. Like, I would literally just write out a check and be like, this is yours.
Yeah, but I mean, I know that.
For $1 million.
Well, you see all these athletes all the time getting their mom, these nice ass vehicles all the time, but why not give them a nice ass fucking house? A vehicle is nice, yeah, but home.
I mean, maybe they already have a nice house.
A home though is something you're gonna have for possibly until you die. So.
I mean, depending
Definitely get that.
on, where I'm at and whatever, if I can't get my parents, taken care of, I'm probably going to go up to a dealership and just throw down some bills and walk out with whatever car I want. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoyed this podcast. Let me know. I know I should be fucking saying my name at the beginning of the podcast. I'm going to start doing that because obviously for the first time listeners, they don't have a fucking clue who I am. So I'm going to start doing that better, hopefully. But for this episode, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be a wrap for this one. You can find, like I said, I'll be posting whenever these videos are going to be up on Twitter, and also you can go to my website, theaveragekid.com, and find videos there also. But I understand if you just want to go to YouTube, you go to YouTube and type in The Average Kid Podcast, and it should be the one with a microphone on it. So I hope you all have a good one, and I should be having another podcast done tomorrow with another buddy on Thursday, and have it uploaded for Friday. So while y'all are listening to this, I probably will be doing a podcast that day. Hopefully. Trying to get shit done.
Hopefully, don't bail.
But from everyone here at the Average Kid Podcast, you know what time it is. We out.